All right, what's up, everybody? So we are going to look at how to install the Blue Cat audio plugins for Reaper. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over, first off, let me get rid of that. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to Canvas and we're going to find those Blue Cat audio free plugins. When we click that link, we then see that there are a few different options on the right-hand side to download. So Blue Cat Audio is a company that supplies some free plugins for everybody. So we have a chorus, we have a flanger, we have a virtual amp, a frequency analyzer, which is a really, really, really good plugin. A gain suite, so it's a way to increase your gain of your tracks, a phaser, and then the EQ. So the EQ is going to be another important one for this particular download. So what we're going to do is, depending on what platform you're going to be using, if you're Mac or PC, you're going to download the VSTs. So on Mac side, you're going to download that VST. For Windows, you're going to download these VSTs. So you're going to click on download. It's going to do the download. Okay, then when it's finished the download, it'll open up. And it's going to say, welcome to the Blue Cat freeware plugins, packs, setup wizard. So it'll go through the install like so. You're going to accept the license agreement. This is where you're going to install them on where it suggests, and then you hit install, and it'll go through the install process. Okay, so once it's done, you're going to hit finish, and then from there, we're going to open up Reaper. Okay, so opening up Reaper. And again, we're going to see that please purchase, so we're going to say, no, not right now. And then from there, we're looking good. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to MMS 114 and we're going to load up the Dream Theater stems. So I have them right over here. And we're going to take these 5 stems and we're just going to drag them right into Reaper. Okay, and we're going to put them in a separate track. So now once we have that separate track going on, I'm going to see what this actually looks like. So in Reaper, in order for us to zoom in and out, we're going to look at the bottom right-hand side over here. If we hit the plus sign, we're going to zoom in on the x-axis. If we hit the negative sign, we'll zoom out on the x-axis. Same thing with this. We'll zoom in on the y-axis and then zoom out on the y-axis. So let's take a listen to this track really quick. Got some really cool stuff going on. And then the track really gets bumping. Okay, so as we see, there's some audio that's now hitting the red line over here. So as the audio is starting to go and play, we're noticing that there's some LED meters right over here. These meters show what volume each track is playing at. Okay, we can notice that this one is metering a little too hot. Okay, that red line means that there's clipping involved. Clipping is when the volume is so loud that we start to square off some of these waveforms. And what will basically happen is the waveforms, instead of having this nice little curve right here, will just kind of be this black line all the way across filled with audio, but there's no beautiful envelope or curves that are going on in here that makes the audio sound more like audio. It'll just kind of sound like distortion or clipping. So if we listen to this, and we crank it, starts to sound a little bit less clean, right? So these little knobs right here, these are your volume knobs. volumes. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to set these volumes so that when they play, we're only sort of getting into this green area right over here. So I'm going to bring this down. And that's a better level. Now we can't hear it, so we got to bring it up a little bit more. Standing on the back. Okay, so those vocals are a little too hot too, so we're going to bring them down a little bit. Now, when we do our adjustments, we're noticing that there's a volume indication right over here, okay? Those volume indications are a really good way to sort of understand where you're at, okay? When we do volume changes up or down, we usually do them in about 1 dB to 3 dB increments. So a dB is a volume or a unit of measurement for volume. So for right now, I brought it down by 3 dB. Remember, a 3 dB decrease is a half of the volume, okay? When you subtract 3 dB, you're actually cutting the volume in half. When you increase by 3 dB, you're actually doubling the volume. So for here, we want to bring down the volume. And that's a little bit better. Our drums decided to go a little hot again, so we're going to bring those down by 2 dB. Mounting the attack while heroes carry your weight. We spiral. Okay, so importing that audio, which are now called stems, okay? Those, anytime you have a piece of audio from multitrack or whatever that comes in sort of this pre-cut area, you can kind of just put them into any digital audio workstation. These are called stems. So we have 5 stems going on right now, right? We were adjusting some of the volume. We can actually adjust some of the panning as well. So for example, if I was soloing this one, this is the vocal. I can move it left. Mounting the attack. Or I can move it right. While heroes carry your weight. Which is pretty cool. Now, I gotta switch my headphones because I was left and right. Backwards. So now that we have that, usually what we try to do is try to add in some effects and some plugins. So in order to add in effects, right on this particular track right over here where it says show track effects window, if we click on that, it's then going to go onto your computer and find all of the audio effects that we have. Now, I have a lot of them on here, but the ones that you want to look for is this Blue Cat, okay? Blue Cat Chorus, Blue Cat Flanger, BC, Blue Cat Free Amp. We're going to choose that one right now. Or do we have Blue Cat Triple EQ? That's the one we want right now, okay? So we're going to choose a stereo EQ because we're actually in stereo tracks. If this was a mono track, it would only see 1 line per track, not 2. So if we hit that, now this brings up a plugin for your effect. Okay, so those Blue Cat audio plugins that we just downloaded, now they show up here. Plugins are small little audio programs that run inside a bigger audio program like Reaper. So solo this again. Mounting the attack. Wow. And now let's watch what this EQ is going to do. So if I wanted to add in a little bit more presence to his vocal. Mounting the attack while heroes carry your weight. So just adding a little bit more of this range right over here makes it cut through a little bit better. So now if we were to listen with the whole entire track. Mounting the attack while without it. Carry your weight. Mounting the attack while heroes carry your weight. Okay, so audio effects or VSTs or plugins, what they do is they're a way to enhance and affect sound. Okay, so with the Blue Cat audio, they have a lot of really good ones that we just installed. Okay, if we want to add a second one, we can go to add and it's going to bring up your whole VST area again. So let's add in the phaser this time. We're going to add it in a stereo phaser. And now we can go back and forth. So the first thing that's going to process this track is the EQ. The second thing will be the phaser. So now if we listen to this.
Mounting the attack while heroes carry a weight.
Okay, so it's going to add a little bit of that echo. If you're not sure what to adjust on here, you can always go towards these presets. So we'll see where it says preset menu. We can load in a factory preset, say like if we want to make this a slow motion.
8. Mounting the attack while heroes carry a weight.
Here's it without it.
8. Mounting the attack while heroes carry a weight.
So it kind of just adds a little bit more of like a phasey type of vibe. Let's actually add vibe and see what it sounds like. There we go.
Mounting the attack
without
while heroes carry a weight.
With. Okay, so these are the sort of secret sauce ingredients that we use in audio production in order to sweeten up sound and make it sound a little bit better. So these are the plugins. Blue Cat Audio. I also gave you some Melda Productions plugins as well that you can download and install. And by the way, you don't have to just use the free ones. A lot of times there are some really good plugins out there that are pay plugins. And these plugins are usually designed by startups and small developers that really care about audio. So definitely, if you have the means, purchase the plugins, because that means that somebody can work on making better and new plugins as well. Okay, so installing the plugins, Blue Cat Audio, that's what we're looking for right now. Go to the effects, and then you can go into add, and you can also remove plugins right over here.